Nationwide, the number of students being referred to law enforcement authorities and arrested on school grounds or at school activities increased. About 291,000 such referrals and arrests occurred in the 15-16 school year, an increase of about 5,000 from 2 years earlier. Black students accounted for 15% of the student body in the 2015-16 school year, but made up 31% of those arrests. It is not enough to acknowledge diversity while at the same time silencing or disparaging those who add to the diversity, but must often contend with being underrepresented, undervalued, and not understood. So what must we do? As a school district, to address the history of racism in our city, as it has been a reflection of the history of this nation since its inception, we need to undo racism in all forms, including systemic, institutionalized, linguistic, and cultural. That means no blackface. We need culturally responsive pedagogy, training for our teachers, staff, leadership, and parent leaders, because they are as much a reflection of our district's core values as our paid employees. We need to develop a common language and a system of understanding bias. We also need to be willing to understand our own connections to institutionalized racism and understand fully that if we are not part of the solution, then we are part of the problem. And part of the problem can and often does mean being complicit in maintaining the status quo. Finally, we need to be aware of how racism in any form towards any historically oppressed group adversely affects us all. I speak for myself personally, but also in the form of in a formal role as a trustee for this district. Based on our conversations, our policies, and our bylaws, we will not tolerate racist, bigoted, or culturally insensitive behavior, and when it is brought to our attention, we have an obligation to immediately address it, apologize for it, take corrective action to help heal the parties involved, and most importantly, make an intentional effort to educate ourselves and others. I personally want to apologize to the families at Lynn Howe, and I want to let you know I see you and I hear you, and it is not right, and we will do better. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member McBride. That was very important, and I'm really grateful that you said that.